we're back again. We say it every time, but it's been a while, and things are looking a bit different, setting wise. So it's probably been like 2 or 3 months, probably 3 months since we actually filmed our last episode, if you want to call it that. But yeah, we're in a new setting. We're in a new office. Is the first thing, but then we're also in a new studio, which is our studio.
Yes.
It's very cool.
It is the RevUp content / podcast studio, as you can see here. Yeah, new office.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Took us a little while to get it sorted. We've been kind of jumping around offices since last year until the perfect place kind of came up, and it finally did. And yeah, it feels like home now.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you feel the same?
Yeah. I don't know how long it's been now, but maybe like a couple of months. But yeah, I like it.
Feel bedded in.
It's good, yeah.
And the great thing about our new office is it's not just an office, it's an array of offices. It's a building.
So many rooms.
It's a couple of floors, so we've actually got a load of rooms which we can use to create content.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic, because content, as they have said for about 10 years, is king. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Back in the SEO days, that Google update. What was it called? Panda
and Penguin, wasn't it? Content is king. They used to talk about how written content was king, but I think there's enough of that on the internet now.
It's all just AI generated now.
Exactly. But yeah, new studio. I guess we can... this is like a test, so as much as we'll hopefully get some content out of it, eventually with time we'll try and roll. We want to roll this out to as a studio for hire.
I think the importance of, the popularity of content, like video content for YouTube Shorts, for Reels, for TikTok, etc., is just, it can't be understated nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, it's popular, so it's important for businesses, even if you don't really have anything to talk about. I mean, even for LinkedIn. And, you see webinars and you see things and the production value. And I think we've all been there. Like, you're watching a webinar and you're just on your webcam on your computer, and I really like what you're saying, but you're presenting your brand maybe not as well as perhaps you could. And we want to be able to support our clients and beyond. Creating some content that they can actually be proud of. Starting with us.
Exactly.
Because we were using the other studio, and it was absolutely fantastic, and it kind of challenged us and got us to creating some content like this. And then we were like, we want it to be better. Like, how can we do that? And then we're on that journey now. So hopefully we're going to learn a lot from this recording. We can make a load of improvements, and then we can get some other people in, which would be very exciting. We
haven't skimped on the tech, so there's nothing worse than like you say, there's a lot of really good content out there, but bad audio can literally put me off. Like I won't, like, it will put me off. And so we're hoping that what we've created here is not only functional, but looks good, sounds good, everything.
Content to be proud of. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. You want something that makes you actually happy to put it out there. Because it can be really, really nerve-wracking.
Of course.
Like, personally, like, you create content like this, and it's just like, is it any good? I don't know. So here we are.
I think moving on a little bit, I guess, since there's always obviously developments in marketing and stuff like that, and a lot of the a lot of what we talk about is fueled from like what we discuss with our clients. And I don't think we can go a day at the moment without talking about AI.
For better or worse.
Businesses that you would never expect to be talking about this stuff, these people that probably only want thought that websites were a waste of time until a year ago, and now like how can we be leveraging AI?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess we were like, I feel like we were a little bit cynical about it, and I still am to an extent, because it is context dependent. Like a lot of what people are using AI for now, like, is crap.
Yeah, it's really, AI is just like a tool, and it's a developing tool. And when you start using, just like any tool, the more you use it, the more you realize its limitations.
Yeah.
But also you realize like what it can be used for.
Yeah.
So people that think it is going to revolutionize certain things.
Yeah.
But then in other areas, it's still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not, you actually see things online where like agency owners and stuff are really worried, or people running paid search campaigns are worried that they're going to be completely replaced with AI.
Yeah.
But obviously we know, Google's been using AI for years in its algorithm, and without a human in control of the tool, you're never going to get the performance you want, because Google's AI is trained to do one thing, which is make Google loads of money.
Make people spend money.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, that's what any business is, But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting. So what have you been looking into AI-wise?
What have I been looking into? That's a good question. I guess, the one that kind of, I guess what slaps me in the face is like with our SEO clients and things like that. Obviously, the way in which Google presents its search results is has changed over the years, and with that, with kind of the AI overviews being at the top, it's definitely triggered some questions from clients, like how, the classic, how do we leverage this? Do we even need to be worrying about this? What impact is it having on us? And I think like for us personally, we deal with a lot of clients that they don't really care about ranking an article on their blog in the AI overviews. If you were to give them that option, like you're telling me you want to get in these AI overviews. How about like number one position for your main keyword? What would you prefer? And it would always be like, oh, we want to we want to rank transactionally for commercial keywords. Yeah. So
it's interesting, isn't it? Because you've got places like Wikipedia where forever you've been going there for all the information you need, and now when you search you search Google for some information on something, and it used to just do little short snippets from Wikipedia, and then you could like go in and read more.
Yeah.
And now it'll pull some information out from Wikipedia, some information out from Reddit, and then, like kind of create a summary of it. And it's like, okay, well, you don't actually have to visit Wikipedia anymore to get hold of the information that's, been curated over years and years and years and years and years. So from an informational and data gathering point of view, searches have changed dramatically. And if you're playing in that game of thought leadership and stuff like that, then this is having an impact
big deal
now.
Yeah.
But if you're an electrician in Norwich, specializing in light fittings, I don't know, like at the end of the day, what's AI going to do?
Yeah.
Like you're not asking about light fittings, you want a service.
Yeah.
So in that situation, like traditional SEO, PPC is still massively relevant.
Yeah.
And we're in a situation where that's literally where the majority of our clients sit.
Yeah.
They want to sell their service, they want to sell their product. They're not into the kind of informational stuff. But I do, I've spoken to some people where it has impacted their clients dramatically.
Yeah.
And there's some really interesting things going on. And someone was telling me the other day about they've actually started a new company, and it was LLMEO. So, LLMO. So it's like AI optimization. So what do you have to do on your website, and what signals do you have to put out there on like on Wikipedia, on Reddit, on your website to show up for those informationals to be like recommended as a source. So that's all just so interesting. So, and you know, at the end of the day, we've just continued to keep our fingers on the pulse on that type of thing. The most exciting thing for me, the biggest opportunity, I think, SEO fantastic. When are they gonna start introducing paid content into the AI overviews? Who knows? I've heard rumblings that they might be testing something, not in England, like not in the UK, but I think they might be starting to test some stuff in America. And then normally
that's the great thing about being in the UK, isn't it? It's like, we get, you know, as long as we keep our fingers on the pulse, we're usually a little way behind America. It's usually where Google likes to test its things, especially in the search results. But yeah, I mean, paid, if it does find its way, then we've got, got some thinking to do. But it's all good. I mean, the other thing, just going off on a little tangent, is just people not using Google as a search engine anymore, and people using ChatGPT and Siri using ChatGPT as an option. So
getting married to your AI bot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure I saw an article on that the other day. I didn't click into it because I was like, I don't want to know.
I know, yeah. There's a lot of, the AI influencer world where, these people aren't people, but they're creating campaigns around them. That stuff is crazy. I'm glad we're not.
It's a new world. Like, it's kind of against everything I am into, to be fair, which is human connection, interaction, socializing, etc. Without, but my brother is now. We've got a Wordle chat, which I've opted out of this month because the words were getting ridiculous. They weren't real words. Like, Wordle needs to sort it out. But he'd accuse people of cheating, and he'd type into, and my brother uses Grok because of course he does. And he'll type into Grok my dad got 2 twice in Wordle this month. What are the statistically chances of that being legit versus him cheating? And he's asking Grok these questions and then just being like, Grok thinks you've been cheating, Dad.
Oh, for God's sake.
Which is just hilarious. And then someone else the other day was like, they asked ChatGPT, instead of searching Google what a word meant, they asked ChatGPT. Yeah. I guess this is becoming more and more of a thing. I mean, especially for the younger people. Although I've also heard that a lot of kind of the real, the younger Gen Z are rejecting it. Yeah. But I don't know what they're using as an alternative. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to reject it forever. Let's just hope it kind of integrates nicely. But yeah, it's interesting from a business point of view. Obviously, everyone wants to make the most of it. Can I use AI instead of hiring someone? Can I improve our operational efficiency? And the answers are probably, to an extent, yes, but probably not as crazily as you think. But there's things you can put, instead of everyone now uses an AI chatbot. From Amazon to Uncle Bob's hardware store. They all seem to have an AI bot. And they're so frustrating. When you're trying to ask them some a specific, I'd rather speak to a human. So they're good up until a point. So you've got to kind of question: are you going to put someone off because this bot hasn't been trained well enough, or do you invest? At the end of the day, do you invest in someone training that bot properly? Which then suddenly you're not really saving any money anymore, because there's all of these kind of balances. I think I think someone tried to scam me using an AI voice changer, because I got a call and they sounded like a really posh, Londoner. But the phrasing they used, because luckily I've worked in financial services, so I kind of understand what the phrases are around fraudulent activity and stuff. and they were using weird words, and I was like, this is definitely not a posh London person.
Yeah.
Like, so that's a crazy side of AI as well. I know we're meant to be talking about business and stuff like that, but literally, like, another person was telling me that they trained a AI voice with their voice, so they can now do text to speech and it generates their voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I want to do that? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. But stuff like that is cool. I think that the crazy thing about AI at the moment is it's moving so quickly. So in like 2 months, it will improve. It will take another step forward.
Yeah.
But I maintain that it always works up until to a point.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, the companies that are offering these AI services are still VC funded. Like, they have not found a way to monetize their business models, and until they do, like, they have to impose limitations on the computational power they can give you as a user. Otherwise, they're going to burn through even more billions of dollars trying to make it work. And because they're doing that, they're then giving you like a restricted version of probably what's actually available. Because at the end of the day, these companies offering AI solutions are designed to make money. If they can't make money out of it, eventually the funding will dry up.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting just to see what happens over the next kind of couple of years.
I think what's quite cool about this is, like, we've probably all been looking for like the next thing, like on the internet or whatever it is. Like, we've seen like computers, we've seen mobile phones, and then to an extent we haven't really seen that much since. We've seen technologies within the internet improve and stuff like that, but people have constantly been looking for this next thing, whether it's like Bitcoin or it's NFTs, and it's like, oh, this is it, jump on.
Well, it was blockchain, wasn't it? For ages it was blockchain, and it's like I'm one of those people that's like, blockchain has really, like, it's got the odd use case where it would be better than like a standard database. Yeah. But it's an interesting technology that literally 99.9% of people are better off never even considering. Although Bitcoin's now at a record high. As we say. Remember when we were talking about buying one?
Yeah.
Like, years ago, we should have definitely done that. But yeah, exactly. Sorry, you were going to make a point, but it's the snake oil side of it that most worries me, and that's how I think it's quite similar to blockchain. Bitcoin, and it's less, Bitcoin's like that shouldn't be seen as the blockchain technology is obviously what powers Bitcoin, but all of these the NFT bubble, when like all like the pools for like NFTs, all of that, so like there's no value in that.
No, it's gone.
But sorry, I interrupted your point there.
No, I think all I was probably going to get to was actually, I think AI is going to be a thing, and it is going to be a thing that impacts like everyone's life in one way or another. And it's probably something that you just can't reject. Like, you can't reject it in the same way that you couldn't really reject mobile phones,
contactless payment.
You just need to accept that it's here now. And actually what we're now seeing is kind of the infancy of it. But because it's going to be really powerful.
It is going to be really powerful. It's just, in what way? Like, how is it going to be used? And hopefully it will be used in a very good way.
Well, I'm sure us humans will do a good job. I mean, we always do.
Yeah, exactly. But at the moment, you just got to be so careful, because there's people and companies out there that are literally just designed to, I mean, the amount of companies that have just, now with AI something, everyone's just plugging AI into their business model because it's AI, and AI is the buzzword.
It's the buzzword.
And some companies have been using AI for the last 20 years. They just weren't marketing it as AI. It was like a different type of AI. But But it's the LLMs that have made a massive step forward, the image generation, the video generation, which I still think it's getting more and more impressive.
Yeah.
But do I think people should be using it instead of creating? Oh, I just think it's a bit soulless, to be honest with you. Like
at the moment, it like you can spot it from a mile off, can't you? You see it,
I was like 6-7 fingers.
Yeah.
Like EA, I think EA, a lot of game publishers have been trying to use AI, and they've been using it to create artwork.
Yeah.
And then like not EA, sorry, it was Activision on a Call of Duty advert or something, and it was a zombie and it had 6 fingers, and obviously the internet was like, is this AI? Yes, yes it is.
Yeah.
But actually, on that note, I think the Nintendo shop. Here's a fact for you.
There we go.
The Nintendo shop has made it so you have to disclose if generative AI has been used in the creation of your like textures or something like that.
Yeah.
And I like that type of thing because I think that it will put people off just being like if I was making a video game and I wanted to create some textures, I might speed things up with AI.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pretend I'd made them myself,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the video. But so I think that companies are content, like people that I don't know my point, but whatever. It's just an interesting thing. I think
It definitely
people
is.
are waking up to it.
Yeah. And this has been a long intro, and actually, I think the topic that we were going to talk
We've been
about
banging on about that for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were going to kind of talk about tracking, and AI is obviously massively involved in that. But I think probably this episode will be titled slightly different to what we intended it to. But I don't mind that. I think that's all right.
I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of AI.
No,
to be honest with you, there's been certain things I've been looking into where it's kind of with coding and rapid prototyping and kind of pitching, you can do some really, really cool stuff with AI right here, right now.
Yeah.
Huge benefit in that. But then when it comes to creating a final thing, like that's where it starts to fall down, and it gets expensive and it gets very annoying. Yeah. And you're like, why didn't I just code this from scratch? But no, I think are we going to talk about tracking?
I think we should. I think we should talk about tracking.
Yes,
I think it makes sense, and it's probably the other thing that we've been talking to clients about most recently, and obviously it piggybacks off the AI conversation as well, is that the platforms that we use are using machine learning, are using AI, and because of that we can't ignore it, and because of that we have to take it into account when setting up a Google Ads campaign, setting up a Meta Ads campaign, and optimizing it accordingly. So we just wanted to talk a little bit about tracking, because I think there's probably some value there.
Yeah, it's kind of over the last 5 years or so, we've been moving in this direction. So as I say, AI has been around for ages. And when did Google release Performance Max? 4 years ago now?
It was, I remember we had a conversation just before we set up RevUp Online. We had I think you messaged me and we're like, are you using PMax with any of your clients yet? Like, because you were seeing some good good results with one of yours. Because, as is often the case when a new product is launched, there's a little bit of
you got to jump on it, because those other agencies are just sleeping.
Exactly.
You jump on it, you can get some good performance.
Yeah.
And I think actually, it was, if you jumped on it early, and we'll go into this, you got you could give Google the learnings it needed.
Yeah.
While there was this big opportunity.
Yeah.
And then campaigns that were created back then are still like soaring now, because everyone else was playing catch up.
Yeah.
So AI, and what we're kind of talking about here is TikTok, Meta, Google algorithms, and feeding them the right data in order to allow them to understand what success looks like, I guess.
Yeah.
To an extent. So and the important thing to note is if you don't feed this data back into Google, it's so inefficient nowadays.
Yeah.
Compared to, because none of this used to exist. So it used to just be like, oh, we'll manually set the cost per click and we'll do the ads and we'll target the keywords and da.
Yeah.
And you still do all of that stuff most of the time.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit different with shopping campaigns and Performance Max and stuff like that. But Google now wants, if you're not feeding Google the data, it doesn't know the right clicks to get you.
Yeah.
Like that's going to help you hit your performance targets, basically. So what type of this, and there's loads of different data points you can feed back in now. It was all a bit shaken by like cookies and GDPR and stuff like that, but we're kind of over that hurdle now. It was never ever as complicated as some people were making it out to be, because server-side tracking isn't like, it's nothing special. Like it's only special if you probably weren't doing it too well to begin with, to be honest. Like, why wouldn't you have used server-side tracking for the last 10 years? I mean, but so it's really hard to explain to people how important that data is, because they're like, a lot of people are like, well, what's our cost per click on that?
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
I can answer that question for you. However, it's only a small piece of the puzzle, unfortunately. And the best thing to do is to feed Google as much data as possible and then manage the levers very carefully to eventually get to where you want to be. So is that a good intro to what we're talking about?
I think so, yeah. I think it makes sense. I mean, it like you said, anyone who's been working in the ad space for 10 years, it's an entirely different landscape to what it used to be. And like you say, every piece of optimization work that happened on an account 10 years ago, Google specifically, was manual. It was done by humans. Now, if you were to just interpret the data as like raw data and try and optimize on it, you're just like, you're kind of missing the point.
And that's an interesting conversation sometimes with clients, because it's like, well, you're just letting the Google AI do everything. And it's like, well, I know what you're saying. But that's, it's just a mindset change, because you've still got to steer the ship at the end of the day, and you've still got to know what data to pass back, and have the skills to actually implement all of that effectively, which, as we've learned, is very challenging for a lot of people, because it's quite technical. Like, you didn't used to have to be so technical to do, you didn't have to know how to code to like be good at Google Ads. But now it kind of goes hand in hand. Definitely because helps. If you get the tech wrong, your whole campaign's going to fall over. I think as an agency, we're like, I try, like say, it's a conversation we have with clients all the time. It's like, what we actually pay, like what we paying for you for? If Google's making all the decisions about when to bid, how much to bid, what ad text to show, like what are we paying you for? And I think I usually try to boil it down to like, you're more paying us as like a decision maker now. Like knowing when to pull certain levers and when to leave things alone. Leaving things alone being a big, a episode on its own. It's interesting. Yeah. Could you imagine someone being like, it's like someone's trying to like they're trying to run past you, but they've paid you to hold you back. It's like, no, because if you continue down this path, you're going to completely break everything. Do not do this. Do not do what your gut is telling you to do, because you don't understand how this works. That's a challenge. But it's, I mean, so should we talk about different types of tracking? I think, because I think at the end of the day, if you're not tracking the right things on your website and within your business and feeding that data back properly to Google, to Meta, etc., then you're leaving money on the table. You're not doing it right. Like, you literally need to get that audited and fixed like straight away.
Yep.
So most e-commerce clients nowadays are using Shopify, are using WooCommerce, and I'd probably say that's a reasonably straightforward setup with you've got to know what plugin to use, I guess, and you've got to know how to configure it correctly, and you've got to ensure that you've basically got to monitor the pixel and just make sure it's collecting the right data. But how are these algorithms set up to use that? So if you look at the different conversion events that someone goes through when they're purchasing something, why does Google need to know that? Or why does Meta need to know that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can... So there's obviously... You can feed Google whatever data you choose to. And if we're talking specifically about an e-commerce client, the main... I guess the main thing that you want to track is your purchases and the value that is assigned to that purchase. However, there's this whole thing that happens between someone clicking your ad and purchasing your product. And typically there's like a stepped checkout that you want to be tracking those as well.
Mm-hmm. We have come across e-commerce brands that literally are not even tracking their checkouts and their purchases, and it's like, you're absolutely crazy. You're running a shopping campaign, and you're just running it. You're just spending money on it, and you don't know. You literally have no idea if it's doing any good for you. So, if you're an e-commerce business and you're not tracking stuff, you are seriously behind the curve, and all your competitors are going to be doing so much better than you. You are literally throwing money away, and you don't know like what's going on. Luckily, it's really easy to fix with plugins, but you need to be tracking add to carts. You need to be tracking purchase events, and you want to be tracking a value at it. You want to be tracking product views, because and Google and the Meta systems, they're set up for this. Like when you're setting up different conversion events, it will ask you what type of conversion it is. It will say, and you can say, this is an add to cart. And the reason Google needs to know, and then you give them, you can pass tokens to them to help them identify what type of customer it is. Yeah. And that helps not only with Google understanding your customer type, but also helps with remarketing. So someone's come in, they've added something to cart. Google literally knows if they don't make that purchase, then the next time they search for that product that they got so close to ordering through your company, they need to show them your ad. And they're going to click straight through, and hopefully, this time they're going to make the purchase, because they're quite, these algorithms are smart. It's about giving Google and Meta the data they need to kind of like automate the top of the funnel almost, because that's what they're going to do. Like, you can say, oh no, we're going to do it all completely manually, but all that's going to happen is they're going to deprioritize your ads, because they can see what's going on other people's ads, and they know they're succeeding, and they're like, oh, if we give them some more sales, they're going to scale. We're going to get more money out of them, because at the end of the day, Google's a business, and that's what they want. But I mean, that's a really basic example of e-commerce. So maybe we should think of something else. What's another good example? I'm gonna have a look, because I wrote something down here. Let's do like B2B lead gen, because it's a big deal.
We do a lot of it.
Yeah, and most am I right in saying most companies that we speak to start with, they'll have GA4 installed on their website, and then that's it. They might have a form fill like event, and that'll be it.
It'll be what I'll typically see is like the basic configuration of GA4. Like, clients are like, I've got GA4. It's like, all right, cool, hold on. But it'll be the basic configuration, which means that they've installed the tag, and they've kind of left it, and it's tracking it's tracking traffic, and they can see where that traffic's coming from, and maybe it's got a form submit event, which is just what Google thinks is a form submit, but
Yeah.
no additional events on top of that. Obviously, if they're going to be running ads, or if they're already running ads, maybe they're feeding in that form submit as an action, but probably what I see is a lot of the time they're not doing that. So
or they've got it installed and it's like double firing or
Yeah.
something, so they think they've got twice as many form submits as they actually do.
Exactly.
And obviously the person looking at GA4 is a different person to who's checking the email inbox.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
reporting two different things, and there's this disjoint. Yeah, but unless you're getting your tracking like bang on, like anything like that could happen, I guess.
Yeah, accuracy is obviously a big thing, and I mean, I don't want to necessarily go back to e-commerce again, but like we all the time we see kind of inaccurate values being reported, transactions missing, form submissions missing, which is just again money on the table.
Or a misunderstanding is that with VAT, without VAT, you can actually send like cost of goods and stuff back to Google now, and that helps them understand what your margins are. And literally you might be like, I don't want Google knowing what my margins are, and I kind of get that.
I understand,
but it can be helpful,
Yeah.
like in regards to just understanding what what's working and what isn't.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of I don't know. It's a hard one. Profitability over all else is what I'm all about. But, there's things that can help you understand the profitability of your campaigns better. But if you're not utilizing the tools right, like anything could be happening. We're making loads of revenue, and it's like everything you're selling through Google is 50% off. So actually there's no profit there at all. And it's just, it depends how your business is run, but it's always an interesting conversation.
Definitely. I mean, on the B2B side, I guess we talk about what are the differences in the customer journey between like a B2C and B2B, and how that informs what we do.
I mean, what would a real basic like minimum setup would be, as you said, land on the page and then maybe a lead submission form or something like that. So say that's step one, and say most businesses are at step one. And there's nothing wrong with being at step one. At least you're tracking your lead submissions. Hopefully you've hooked that up to your ad platforms, and they can see your conversions as well, your lead form conversions as well. What's the next step, and why?
Okay, so I guess for me the next step would be get some additional events in place. Make sure you're tracking all routes to conversion. So it's likely that you've got a phone number on your website, you've got an email address on your website, maybe you've got a live chat as well. And I think in B2B, what you often see is the product or the service that you're offering maybe is quite nuanced, and actually people don't necessarily want to type in or their individual requirements. They'd rather pick up the phone and talk to you. So getting those in place is important, and that's, I think, twofold. Quite often what we see with B2B clients is that they don't generate a ton of leads. If they're offering especially if they're offering a high value service with a limited budget, you're not reporting hundreds of conversions a month to Google.
Yeah.
And we know that Google operates best when it has hundreds of conversions. Yeah. So that probably leads me on to, okay, we've got form submissions, we've got like primary conversion metrics in place.
So that's like clicking an email, clicking a phone number.
Yeah.
Kind of key like touch points of a customer. But what if you're not getting enough of that?
Exactly.
Like, what is it? Yeah. What else can you track on your website that implies some kind of positive action or some kind of intent?
Yeah. So, like I say, intent-driven actions on your website could be kind of time on site metrics, or at least time on a certain page.
Yeah.
If a user is spending 30 plus seconds on a page, potentially they're reading the content on it.
Yeah.
You could look at certain button clicks that don't necessarily lead to a call to action. Maybe they lead to a contact us page.
Yeah, or a catalog download,
Yeah.
or like if you're like an in-person business, then it would be a get directions click or something like that, and then you're like, oh yeah, these guys didn't get in touch with us, but they're interested. And that's good.
Yeah.
And we should probably tell Google about that. We should probably tell Meta about that, because they need to know that type of customer that they got us isn't useless.
Yeah,
basically.
it's worth bidding for.
Yeah, because there will be people that come on your website and are completely unengaged with everything that you're offering because they don't want to be on your site for whatever, and you don't want those clicks.
Yeah.
So if you don't tell Google that those clicks are worthless and these clicks are useful, what's Google going to do? It's just going to give you a bit of everything, and you're literally going to be competing with people that are giving Google all this data. So it's just you're just going to be behind, and it's just so important to get the tracking right. Otherwise, I don't know. And it's annoying to set up. You have to get the right people to do it, and it has to be done properly. And it can be painful, especially if you've got a dev team that are very, very protective of their website, and it's fine. Like, at the end of the day, we get it.
Yeah.
But you need to get the tracking right. You need to send as much data as you can. Like, otherwise you're behind the curve.
Yeah, so that's probably that's how I'd approach like a B2B lead gen website. Is just usually it involves tracking, or at least setting up tracking on as many actions as possible, and then deciding over time what you feed Google. So it might be that you feed it all of it to start with, and then you refine it down to what the most important actions are to the client or to the website.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because often it's really good for a client to see all these kind of important actions that are going on their website, because it's something they'd have never seen before. They're like, we didn't realize that 20% of the clicks from this kind of keyword are actually interested. We thought it was. So it's like, it's not all, here's some good insights. But you don't necessarily have to get Google to optimize towards that.
No.
So it's kind of good in two ways, but you need to just be careful. That you're not over optimizing for something. And we have seen it. You're over optimizing for something that you wouldn't prioritize time on page versus a lead form submission.
Exactly.
But if you don't have 30, 40, 50 lead form submissions, you need to take a step back, and otherwise the algorithm won't learn.
Should we do one more example?
Yeah. So what about driving footfall to a local business, like a pawnbroker, for example?
So, we are on St. Benedict's, so there's no shortage of that. Obviously this can be quite tricky, because what someone does on the internet versus what they do, what they do in real life when they step foot out of the house, is there's a disconnect there. It's not as obvious as someone visiting a website and filling in a form, or visiting a website and purchasing a product. So there is a little bit of there's always an element of guesswork, and we have to obviously make that clear to our clients that it's not always it's not one to one.
None of it, like, unless it's it's almost impossible to track everything 100%. It's been done before when you literally have full control, and actually it'd be worth talking about that maybe after this, because it is 100% possible, but you're looking at proper bespoke systems and stuff like that. But driving real people into your store, it's an interesting one. Yeah,
and I guess I can talk a little bit about Google first, because Google is quite good at that stuff, and it has a platform. It has Google Maps, and it has Google Business Profiles that are designed to help brick and mortar businesses drive action. And so obviously when you set up a Google Ads campaign for a local client, you can then connect your Google business profile or profiles to it. And with that, Google then gives you data on what happens on its maps listings. So that includes when someone clicks to get directions, someone clicks to call.
Yeah, and this is tracking. You don't even have to. It's easy. You just connect the two. The two bits. So Google what's it called now? Not Google My Business.
Business profile.
Google Business something.
Yeah.
And we should know that. I still call it Webmaster Tools.
Yeah.
Not Search Console. So you connect your Google Ads account to Google My Business or Google Business profile, and it does this for you.
Yeah. So that's obviously pretty cool. Versus what a business could have before. It's like, you can see that this many people have clicked get directions, and whilst maybe you can't correlate that exactly to footfall in the store, if we can drive up that number, there's probably quite a good chance that you're going to see an increase. So you can do that for getting directions. You can do that for people calling. There is a store visit. There's a store visit conversion action. But it's a bit problematic.
How does that work then? I know back in the day you used to be able to get a bit of hardware from Google.
Yeah.
It would literally like track the amount of people coming in and out of your shop.
Yeah, you used to then, I remember, I think we went to like an event where someone talked about this and how you could then do push notifications off the back of like someone's location and things like that. Like, you've just been to our store.
Yeah.
Which is a bit, I'm sure GDPR probably had something to say about that.
Do you remember back in the day with old phones and Bluetooth, you'd walk past somewhere and you'd get pushed like a message through Bluetooth?
Yeah.
It was like, come into our shop and get a coffee. Or
yeah.
It's just like, wow. They don't,
That's better than AI, that is.
Yeah, that is, isn't it? And you used to be at an airport and you just get a random message from someone that's got Bluetooth and like, because you've left your Bluetooth on.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
I didn't personally do that. I think the 2025 version of that is airdrop, like people airdropping stuff. But,
do people do that? I've never had it.
So I hear, yeah. So I hear. But yeah, it is like, it's tricky with brick and mortar stores.
Yeah.
But there are still things that you can do.
I think in any situation, there's always improvements that can be made. You might have your tracking like in GA4 set up really nicely, but you're not sending the right date. Like, great, report on this stuff with GA4, but Google Ads, for example, you can feed more data into. Meta, you can feed more data back into. So you're not just saying this was what was this lead form submission? It was 1, for example.
Yeah.
It's like, it was 1, and here's a tokenized version of their data. Go match that to some other profiles and give me more of that traffic, kind of thing. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So if you've just got GA4 tracking set up, again, great, nice one, you're ahead of the curve. But have you got Google Ads tracking set up properly? Have you got Meta tracking set up properly, etc., etc.? It's just so worth just double checking.
Yeah.
Double checking that your data is correct, and double checking that you're literally feeding as much data as physically possible to these companies, because it will 100% improve your performance.
Yeah. Before we end, I guess one thing that I talk to clients about quite a lot is, and I think we actually touched on it a little bit the last time we recorded, is attribution, and how the switch to GA4 and the real-time reporting versus quite.
I still hate GA4, to be completely honest. I'm still not a fan.
I'm sure I think probably most people who work with it are not a fan, but how would you explain that? It's Google Ads is telling me I'm getting this many conversions, or if we keep it to like e-commerce, an example, like Google Ads is telling me I'm getting 10 conversions worth 100 quid, but GA4 is telling me it's not matching up. do you worry about that? Do you just accept it? Like, or can you fix it? Will they ever?
No, it's impossible.
Yeah.
No, it's not impossible. Like, but for most companies, it's not worth the investment to get there. Like, literally, it's a full time. Like,
Yeah.
if you've got an existing platform, those things are never going to marry up. At the end of the day, it doesn't need to marry up. Like, in today's world, we're so connected and brands are everywhere. So the journey to a purchase is more complicated than it's ever been before.
Yeah.
Like, and consumers are more savvy than they've ever been before as well. So it's very, very rare, although I did do this the other day, that you will search Google, see exactly what you want straight away, and then literally inquire purchase like instantly. Although it does happen.
Yeah.
But chances are you're going to do... Let's take a completely different journey. So maybe you're getting married, okay? And obviously Facebook knows that you've turned your relationship status to engaged.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Let's say wedding dresses, just as an example. So now you're seeing a couple of different wedding dress suppliers, retailers on your Facebook feed, because why wouldn't you? Because you're now engaged. Absolutely fantastic. And that's the kind of data-driven stuff we love.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense. But you're like, I've just seen these guys on Facebook. Their ad's got a couple of likes and a couple of comments, and great. Okay, I'm going to look into these guys. Like, where are they? Where are they based? Can I go see them? Are they online only? I don't know. Am I going to click through the ad? Maybe I'll click through onto their Instagram profile and I'll have a quick look. And then I'm going to go onto Google and search their brand name, find their website, because it was hard to find from Instagram. So you've gone from Facebook to Instagram to Google. And then when you search their brand, they've got Google Shopping running.
Yeah.
And you can see all these wedding dresses and you're like, oh, I like the look of that wedding dress. You get a bit distracted, you click into it, and then you add it to your wish list, because you're not buying it now, because it's maybe you have to go in store and try it on. So you go on to click get directions and you ring them up and you're like, can I book an appointment? And and basically all of these touch points are adding into you potentially eventually making a purchase with this company. If one of those didn't align, or like you can say, well, the first interaction with our brand was here, but you can't say if that interaction, like, it's impossible to wait.
Yeah.
Like, it's just impossible, because every single journey is different. If you do try and do, and there are, I've got no issue with companies trying to learn more about those types of journeys, but I would say for the majority of companies, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as you're spending your money in the right places and you're understanding what's going on within those different campaigns and you're understanding what the purpose of them is and what they're for. It'd be obvious if something wasn't working at all, because you'd be able to see within the metrics of that particular dashboard, or you'd be able to bring it all together into a report, and it would be like, well, maybe this is better spent here, or something like that. You can make decisions like that, but I always say nowadays, if it's working, it's working. It's all completely mixed. I mean, although saying that, we'd always say start with Google and then kind of expand around it, because we've spoken about demand generation, demand capture and generation and stuff before, but it's a never-ending job, attribution. And the best thing a company can do, from my point of view, is just make a decision on how they want to understand attribution and measure that. Yeah. And as long as that's improving, the details don't really matter. Do you agree?
I think, 100%, because a lot of the clients that we deal with that are arguably doing the best, and I mean that in the sense of, I know like their business is going well, they worry about how much money they're spending, how much money they can see that their campaigns are making, and then how much their website is making. And that's pretty much it.
Yep.
And if those three things are going in the right direction,
yes,
like you're probably going to be fine, whether or not, where that's come from.
Yeah.
And
it's not a cop out. It's not like, as I said, you can tell if something isn't working at all, and you can tell easily if you're tracking set up correctly what's doing its job and what isn't. But as long as it's doing its job, let it do its job and try and improve that job. But don't worry about, it was 30% this ad, and it's just it sounds good maybe in a meeting, but it's a load of fluff. To be honest. So I'm glad we agree on that. Otherwise, we'd have a serious issue.
I know, we'd probably have to go downstairs and have a meeting.
Have a meeting about it.
But, yeah.